This is Venice Beach, California. It's usually sunnier than this. We have a little bit of a overcast day, early September. I'm Peter Wick. I live here. I live a half block from the beach. I'm a local. Robert Silk suggested once recently that I do a day-long sit here at the beach, sun up to sundown, the way he does desert sitting. Of course, this is not a desert. I don't know if I'm much of a sitter. I mean, I love filming it. I love the meditative quality of desert sitting. I love the way it puts you in touch with nature. But then there's the crazy element that it's also an extreme endurance sport.
Well, desert sitting involves sitting, just sitting in the desert.
So it's fairly self-explanatory. That's what you're saying.
The name is appropriate for the sport.
Okay.
For the endeavor.
And the brief description is you're just sitting. You have to be sitting before the sun comes up. So you watch sunrise. You sit through the whole day. You watch sundown.
We're talking about it from at its most competitive state, the endurance sector. But I think you can do it, and you could go to Joshua Tree in December and have a day where it might start out a little chilly, but pick the most comfortable day of the year, and it won't be that many hours, nearly as many hours, but that where you really are focusing less on the endurance and more on the meditative quality, the quality of just watching the sun rise, of not needing a clock, you're not allowed to have one, by the way. You shouldn't have one if it's just for fun. You still shouldn't have one. Not needing it, because the sun's going to be your clock. You're in the desert, so hopefully and probably it's going to be, you can watch that sun all day. You'll have a pretty good idea what time it was. The trails are so trodden right now. This isn't trodden. This is Ushuaia, the most southernmost city in the world, where we've just received news that everyone in at least my group has passed COVID test number 3. So we can all get on the boat, which is very exciting. I'm here off the coast of the Antarctic Peninsula, and Mission Desert Sit has run into a bit of a problem. Mission Desert Sit Antarctica. The problem being that this section of Antarctica, the Antarctic Peninsula, is in fact not a desert. I've realized over the past couple days. Much of Antarctica is an extremely dry desert where snow sits there simply because it never melts, but it has built up over the millennia. But this section of Antarctica is actually basically a rainforest. So I have my Helinox chair, I have all the equipment for desert sitting. The only thing I'm missing is a desert. And what are you going to do? This is Cooverville Island in the Antarctic Peninsula. Made it ashore, ready to sit. Cooverville is the island with the most penguins, the most Gentoo penguins in all of the Antarctic Peninsula. About 6,000 breeding pairs. They're down below me on the rocks. There could be a population as many as 20,000 penguins, or maybe even more here when you figure chicks at the end of a breeding season. See the ship there in the background. That's the scenic eclipse. That's what got me here. Just to be fully transparent, this is not what I would consider to be a sporting sit, one that requires endurance, strength, agility, all those things that takes where you sit from sun up to sundown, which would be quite an achievement in Antarctica at this time of year, by the way. Only have a couple hours, so this is a recreational sit. The chair is ready to go, and getting in the chair now. So I sat for a couple hours. Chair is now packed up. They told me it was time to go. Closing down the site. Seems like the wind got too heavy. And indeed, as you can see, I've added a lot of layers. It's got way colder. And while I was sitting, I was thinking about something a friend told me not long ago, which was you're thinking too small on this sitting as a sport. not just desert sitting, he said, it should be extreme sitting. And after a couple hours here, about 30 degrees with this wind getting up, down, and gusts of, I don't know, I'm just guessing it was also about 30 mph. I'd say, yeah, extreme sitting's about right. So, a full day of summer sitting here in the Antarctic Peninsula, I mean, what an endurance feat that would be. Think about the first ascent of the Matterhorn in the late 19th century. Think about, you know, some of the great triathletes, some of the great endurance sport athletes. It would be just like that. So extreme sitting.
You've sat Joshua Tree in California, you've done Arizona, but there are many other deserts in the world. And so where would you want to sit that's sort of outside our Southwestern American box?
Yeah, my target is to sit in the Atacama Desert in Chile sometime in the next, either this December for their summer solstice or the December that follows.